by the way, let's not, hold on 1 second. So even though we don't have a quorum, we have an official group, let's call the meeting to order. We would have done review and approval of the July 21st meeting minutes, but we're gonna have to kick that can down the road. We're gonna open this up with public forum, which is basically exactly what this is. And one of the other things that I wanted to, if Ian's slammed, he's probably on another town call or something like that right now. But I was going to say either in public forum or at the end with other business, we could get an update on the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit thing. That said, is there anything before the other items on the agenda that you think we need to surface in public forum before we get into those things?
Well, my question is not so much about what we present to the public in this question, but really, are we officially still a committee if we can't get consistent quorums?
I have not broached that subject with the select board yet. We obviously are challenged not just with a month-to-month ability to get a quorum on a call, but we're also down to board members for the third or fourth month in a row.
Right.
I'm going to make a push this month to fill those holes any way possible. I've obviously suggested anyone else bring out things like that, but to the group as well. It's a great question. I think it's a question, as Ian is our official spirit guide from the select board.
Yeah.
It's a question that we can ask him, and maybe I know what I'll do is I'll put it on the list. I've got a couple business/committee ops questions for him.
Okay.
And we'll get an answer from him. He'll guide us. But that all said, I think, and I'm not reading between any lines. I'm not trying to say, oh, this is how I interpret these things. Since the committee itself was chartered by the select board, all the discussions we're having have been in public forums. All of our materials are accessible to the public at any time. The links to our share folders are on the town website for anybody to go in and look at. I believe that everything we're doing is at least transparent enough to get us to a place where we can at least present suggestions because the Pine Street traffic calming thing, I was writing up a thing about it earlier, is something we inherited. It's not something that we came up with. It was something that the ad hoc group designed, said, we believe this is a priority for the town. The town said, we believe this is all a priority. Your work, the initiatives, everything, let's make it official. And it was the first kind of ball we were passed to carry forward. But let's get an official call on that from Ian, because we're going to have to do something about getting a quorum on the document itself. And if I have to do that by chasing people down and getting their email responses to thumbs up, we can present this, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
So the mission statement, what I'll do is I'll send that around to the group, get an email vote on it, and we'll note how it was achieved. We'll put documentation in the public share so that that's all there, and carry that forward. So Pine Street revision plans. Oh no, I wonder if the same thing's going to happen. Screen shared disabled.
Oh no.
So this happened to us last week or last month. So I'll just read from what I did. Ian had the great suggestion of adding a few just bits of context. Hi, Tanya. Bye, Tanya. Ian had a suggestion about additional context. So I added a slide that further explains some of the things on the actual contextual side. I'll forward this around afterwards, but the Pine Street Traffic Calming Initiative is one of the main projects the Bristol Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee inherited from the ad hoc group. While aspects of it, including pedestrian and bike lanes, have already been approved and budgeted for, the nature of the project and the need for it to ultimately be a sustainable success, which require an iterative approach. stop signs at specific intersections can provide this. They will have a combined effect, together with the lowering of the district speed limit to 25 miles an hour, of making Pine Street more friendly and traversable by slowing down traffic overall and making the intersections, one of which is extremely challenging right now, easier for users traveling in all directions on that. And that's, I've refined a point on the next slide, which was bullet point 7 on the Pine Street notes. The current Pine Street Munsell intersection stop sign is 35 feet back from Pine.
Wow.
In combination with the landscape on both sides of Munsell, the hill on the north, on the east side, and the trees on the west side, this makes visibility for people on the Munsell side almost impossible, virtually impossible, until it's almost too late. So if somebody's biking from one direction, walking from another, and you're a truck trying to make that left-hand turn, you have to practically be, or a car really, you have to practically be in Pine Street before you can see if it's truly safe.
Mhm.
Those are the only 2 substantive changes I made to the deck. So I'll push that forward via email, so everybody can vote on it via that way, and we can ask Ian when we can get some time in front of the select board. Sound good?
Sound good.
Great. Next item agenda is safe routes to schools. I was contacted by multiple groups who forwarded this to me. The town, the bike walk and roll group as well forwarded this to me. I will put this on the share so everybody can see it. But it is, it's interested parties, the 2022 Vermont Trans Safe Routes to Schools Spot Improvement Program. I'm happy to announce that we are soliciting applications for spot improvements projects using Safe Routes to School funding still available to VTrans. Improvements include bicycle lanes, shoulders, sidewalks, pedestrian crossing improvements, pedestrian signals, improvements that address requirements for the ADA, as well as shared use paths. So everything that's in our wheelhouse,
Yeah.
they're coming saying they still have budget for it. So I will send this document around to everybody. We should get a couple other items on this list, including some of the things we know we've been talking about, like what we're going to do on Mountain Street as where the sidewalk ends and it dips down there, and there's the set of curves. We know that in addition to that being a heavy pedestrian corridor, there's also a lot of school kids that live down there and past both parts of the curves and who walk to school. So that feels like it's right in the spirit of this Safe Routes to Schools thing.
Great.
I was also, oh no, I'm not going to jump ahead to that. Hold on, let me reference this. So I'll send that around. We're on to other business. I have one item, but I want to ask the group if anybody else has anything else before I jump into that.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was contacted by Jonathan from Local Motion. He is organizing a remote meetup of walk and bike committee members from around the state. Initially, we are sending out an email to all committee members to gauge interest, and timing will leave committees with sufficient time to discuss attendance in order to avoid issues with open meeting law. So I have provided emails to him for everybody in the group. He asked for that because I think he's going to, once they get closer to knowing the shape of this, they're going to send notes around. I haven't gotten anything past this. This happened Wednesday of last week. So I haven't heard anything from him since then. I'll reach back out to him though, and just get a feel, maybe even see if he wants to join us for the next meeting so that he can see what we're up to. But just wanted to let everybody know that something like that is coming. And it sounds like, unlike the other 2 events that happened earlier in the year that were actually physical events, this one's going to be virtual, which will hopefully make it, our attendance at it, much easier and more feasible.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Hi,
Okay.
Tanya. Okay, that said, is there any other business for this week from anyone?
Not for me.
I didn't know if anyone was writing in stuff on that survey about what the town should do that large chunk of cash. to
The,
improve.
the ARPA,
Mhm.
hopefully people, I have to, I have a conflict of interest because my wife is on that committee.
Okay.
But by all means, hopefully people are whatever your opinions on how the ARPA fund should be put out there. I know that committee is so hungry for people's input, so.
Yeah, I didn't know, I haven't looked into it enough to see what kind of restrictions were put on that. Or
It's,
it apply to possibly creating that walk path to Bristol Falls in the future.
well, it's interesting. So I can tell you what I know about it. The grant is, it's a little over $1 million. I can't
Mhm.
remember if it's 1.25 or something like that.
Yeah.
There is a set of there's a broad set of guidance from the administration about how it can be spent, but there's deference to the localities as to how it ends up getting spent. And I know that the town has asked, and I'm using the town in very broad terms, has asked the committee to, while they want everybody's feedback, they've asked to pay special attention. I'm using very non-legal terms there, but to initiatives that benefit kids, educational initiatives and education related and adjacent initiatives, and things that benefit, I believe, the elderly. But that second one, I'm not 100% sure about. I can ask my wife to give me the documentation. I can send it around to our group. So it was the first thing I thought of, was like, I know how to spend
Yeah, oh, yeah.
$1.2 million. It's like, figure out how to get, we could spend that going from Lord's Prayer Rock to the bridge very
Exactly.
easily. But yeah, so that's all I know, and that's not, and I obviously don't speak officially for that group, but I know they're looking for any and all input.
Yeah, I did submit that today, but
Great.
yeah, I didn't know if anyone knew if there was any reason why that couldn't happen, be a possibility. It seems like it benefits everyone, so.
Yeah, it certainly would. I think that would demonstrably change. I mean, everything. It would change the spot to be able to go there. It would reduce the amount of parking that happens and traffic. You reminded me of something though. Did either of you see the survey for Airport Road?
No.
I did see that was posted, but I forgot to look into it.
It's so they're getting moving with the idea of finally connecting the sidewalk all the way into Mount Abe from the fire station intersection there. So that survey is around. I know I answered it, but I can't remember where I saw it.
I know it's posted for him, so yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've got. Anybody have anything else?
No, I missed the first like 6-7 minutes, so
We obviously didn't do anything official with only two of us on there. We appreciate you showing
right.
up. I did mention. Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya.
Sorry, any help needed in anything this coming month?
No, you know what we do need is when I send these two emails around about the Pine Street plan and the mission statement, the greatest thing you could do is respond with yes or no to either of them, so that we can move those things forward and get them in front of the select board.
Okay, great.
Other than that, that's the other thing. Think about anybody you know that might want to be on the board.
Oh, and I assume that means that the what's his name, the guy that runs the bike shop in town.
He hasn't responded to my emails, but those emails are going to the shop general email. So I'm going to go down and stop by and talk to him in person.
All right, I'll see if I can hunt someone down.
Great. Right. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I can do.
Second. Perfect. It was great seeing you two. Thank you very much for showing up. I'm going to send these two emails right now.
Awesome.
And I'm also going to put that VTrans thing on the share, so it'll be in there.
Great, thank
Great.
you.
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Great seeing
Okay.
you. And yell if you need anything.
Have a good
Thanks.
one.
Okay,
Thanks, Neat.
bye.